Caitlin Clark just did something no athlete has done since Michael Jordan, launching a signature basketball that's changing the game on and off the court. Let's break down how she's not just making history, but rewriting it.
Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
Remember the days when just seeing Michael Jordan's name on a product meant it was instantly flying off shelves? Well, fast forward to now and meet Caitlin Clark, the new name setting the basketball world on fire. She's not just a rising star, she's a disruptor, shaking the very foundations of the game and turning heads in boardrooms and locker rooms alike. WNBA veterans? They're not just watching, they're sweating. And it's not the gym heat doing it. It's Caitlin's latest move, a massive brand deal that mirrors the cultural shockwave MJ once sent through the industry. With unstoppable talent and a meteoric rise in influence, Clark is more than a player. She's becoming a symbol of a new era. One that doesn't wait for permission, one that might just crown her as the face of basketball's bold, new future.
But she's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
Let's take a moment to truly understand what just happened. Wilson, the official ball supplier for both the NBA and WNBA, just handed Caitlin Clark something historic, her own signature basketball collection. And guess what? No woman's been granted that honor since the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. That's not just news, it's legacy making. You can almost hear Cheryl Swoops clenching her jaw at the headline. Lately, Swoops has been name-dropping Clark more than recounting her own Hall of Fame career, a testament to just how big Caitlin's moment really is. Her name is now etched in marketing history, right next to MJ's. But this isn't just about balls, it's about storytelling through design. These aren't gym class throwaways. We're talking pristine white and gold collections, laser-etched with her career-defining moments. The Threes Up ball celebrates her limitless range. The Record Breaker honors her stat sheet dominance. And the Crowd Maestro? It pays tribute to her unmatched ability to electrify arenas like a pop concert. Caitlin Clark is no longer just part of the conversation. She is the conversation, and she's redefining what superstardom looks like in modern sports.
He's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
Caitlin Clark isn't just selling basketball gear. She's flipping the script on the culture of the game itself. Her groundbreaking partnership with a billion-dollar brand isn't just big, it's seismic. It's not about merch, it's about momentum. The kind that changes how we see athletes, endorsements, and influence. The sports world? Buzzing. Fans? Electrified. And some seasoned players? Quietly feeling the shift as Clark's spotlight grows brighter than ever. This isn't your typical endorsement. It's the biggest crossover between branding and basketball since a young phenom from North Carolina signed a game-changing deal with the swoosh, birthing sneaker culture as we know it. And now, the torch is passing. Caitlin isn't just dominating on the court, she's playing chess in the business world. Stick around, because up next, we'll share an inspiring nod from Jordan himself and break down a stat that connects these two legends in a way that'll blow your mind.
But calling all Caitlin Clark fans, 2 new limited edition basketballs are now available at select Hy-Vee stores. The designs are part of the Inspire series that Clark is doing in partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. The tribute ball pays homage to Clark's time with the Iowa women's basketball team, and the Dreamer Ball is designed to encourage athletes to pursue their dreams. Both are available in sizes 3 and 6 at select Hy-Vee.
Wilson's global brand head Amanda Lamb didn't just call Caitlin Clark a record setter. She called her a cultural icon. Clark isn't just playing the game, she's redefining it. That's why Wilson is making her the face of their women's basketball future. This isn't a promo, it's a brand evolution. With Clark leading the charge, women's basketball isn't just rising, it's transforming.
Making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from.
Caitlin Clark's signature basketballs didn't just sell, they vanished. Tens of thousands were snapped up in under 40 minutes. That's less time than it takes A'ja Wilson to drop a cryptic tweet that sparks a media frenzy. But this wasn't your average launch, it was a cultural moment. More like a surprise Yeezy drop or the chaos of an iPhone pre-order than a sporting goods release. And just when the buzz was peaking, Clark raised the stakes again, this time teaming up with a major grocery chain. Yes, a grocery store. Sneakers selling out? Old news. Caitlyn's redefining hype by moving basketballs off shelves next to your cereal. This isn't just visibility, it's ubiquity. She's breaking every traditional boundary, turning everyday spaces into stages and showing the world that athletic influence isn't confined to courts and arenas. It's everywhere. And Caitlyn Clark? She's the blueprint.
And when you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlyn Clark. That is a problem.
The seismic waves of Caitlyn Clark's rise aren't just being felt. They're shaking the very foundation of the WNBA and rewriting the blueprint for what it means to be a modern sports icon. Her success isn't just trending, it's transformative. What we're witnessing is more than an endorsement surge or a highlight reel sensation. We're watching an unprecedented cultural and economic shift unfold in real time. Clark isn't merely collecting endorsement checks. She's flipping the entire playbook. In an era where veteran players are still clawing for visibility, Clark has already rewritten the rules of engagement. Locker rooms have become arenas of quiet tension, not because of what Clark says, but because of what her presence does. There's no ignoring it. A rookie just walked in, and suddenly, seasoned pros are watching sponsorship opportunities pass them by, while Clark's phone doesn't stop ringing. And the numbers? They're deafening. Caitlyn Clark's WNBA debut shattered expectations, averaging a jaw-dropping 1.18 million viewers, more than 3 times the league standard. That's not growth. That's a catapult. She isn't just lifting the bar. She's launching it into a stratosphere the league has never touched before. This is Michael Jordan-level impact, LeBron-caliber buzz, Curry-style flair. Only this time, it's all wrapped up in a 22-year-old from Iowa. What's perhaps even more staggering, she hasn't hit her ceiling yet. The data speaks louder than any doubter. According to global marketing analytics, Clark has climbed past Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in global marketability rankings. Yes, you read that right. 2 of the biggest names in the history of sport are now looking up at Caitlyn Clark in the commercial arena. She's not just a domestic sensation, she's a global movement. A first-year WNBA player who's leapfrogged not just stars, but entire institutions. There are stadiums filling up just for her. Broadcast deals being rewritten around her. Highlight clips of her are going viral before she even leaves the court. And while some veterans may scoff at the Clark effect, major networks and corporate giants are signing on for the long haul, making her the face of a new era in sports marketing. Clark isn't just generating buzz, she's shifting tectonic plates. Her influence extends beyond basketball courts and into living rooms across America. Fans who didn't even know what WNBA stood for last year are now canceling plans to catch her games. Middle America? Yes, the same demographic more familiar with Friday Night Football, has embraced the Indiana fever like it's the second coming of the '85 Bears. And while Gen Z sees her as a walking highlight machine with Instagram clout, older generations see the reincarnation of Larry Bird, cool under pressure, deadly from range, and undeniably marketable. This isn't just popularity, it's profitability. Clark is delivering the WNBA what every sports league dreams of. A compelling story, a marketable star, and cultural relevance. And yet, while her star ascends, a storm brews behind the scenes. Not everyone is cheering. Some veterans, unaccustomed to the white-hot glare of the spotlight Clark commands, have turned to subtweets and post-game shade. For every dazzling three-pointer Caitlyn hits, there seems to be a cryptic Instagram story from someone who feels overlooked. Let's not pretend it's all love behind those smiles. But here's the truth. Jealousy doesn't dim the light, it amplifies it. Clark didn't ask for this attention. She earned it. In just months, she shattered over 60 records, redefined rookie expectations, and forced the league to make room for her gravity. Even her arrival helped secure long-overdue charter flights for the entire WNBA, something veterans had been demanding for decades. It took Clark weeks to accomplish what years of advocacy couldn't. And yet, on the court, the resentment is sometimes physical. Defensive pressure turns personal. Fouls come harder. Screens get rougher. The message is clear: earn your spot. But Clark has already done more than that. She's redefined what that spot even looks like. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's power, politics, and platform all colliding. What we're seeing now is a new paradigm, a sport transforming in real time, spurred by the sheer magnetism of a once-in-a-generation athlete. And as this new chapter unfolds, it's impossible to ignore the old guard clashing with the future they helped build but are now struggling to adjust to. Even Charles Barkley, a no-nonsense truth-teller and basketball legend, had to step in recently. In a rare moment of candid frustration, he blasted the critics. These women are messing this up. Caitlin Clark is the best thing that's happened to the WNBA in years. And he's not wrong. Clark's ascension is illuminating cracks the league has long hidden: marketing misfires, limited visibility, pay disparities, and branding challenges. She's putting a spotlight not just on the product, but on the systemic flaws holding it back. And while that might make some uncomfortable, growth rarely comes without friction. So yes, there are whispers in the locker room. There are side eyes and social media shade. But meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is building something bigger than a legacy. She's building a billion-dollar brand. Alongside Wilson Sporting Goods, she's joined Michael Jordan in an elite, almost mythical club. 2 names, 1 court, infinite potential. What we're seeing is the rebirth of women's basketball as a cultural juggernaut, and Clark is the face of it all. You don't have to like her. You don't have to cheer for her. But if you care about the future of the game, you better start paying attention, because Caitlin Clark is no longer just the moment. She's the movement. There's a difference between breaking into the spotlight and becoming the spotlight. Caitlin Clark didn't create the problems that have plagued the WNBA for decades: the undervaluation, the pay gap, the absence of investment in marketing, but her meteoric rise is shining a blinding light on all of it. In fact, her presence is forcing a long overdue reckoning. She didn't invent the machine, she just exposed its flaws by showing what happens when it's finally running at full power. Let's be real. Clark's base WNBA salary? A modest $76,500. A figure that wouldn't even cover the cost of a courtside season ticket to watch her play in certain markets. Yet her projected earnings this year from endorsements alone eclipse $11 million. That's not just a pay gap, it's a canyon, a chasm, a full-blown black hole. And it tells a much larger story. That story isn't just about what Caitlin Clark is being paid, it's about what she's worth, and more importantly, what she's making the entire league worth. Because Clark's arrival didn't just goose the ratings and spark interest, it ignited a revolution. She didn't wait to make noise, she showed up and rewrote the sound system. She got people paid. She secured charter flights. She elevated TV ratings. She turned highlights into appointment viewing and ticket sales into a gold rush. She brought the WNBA to a $200 million broadcast deal table and made them impossible to ignore. You want to call her Athlete of the Year? That's not praise. That's just stating the obvious. Caitlin Clark is doing something few athletes ever do. She's dragging the entire infrastructure of her sport into a new era, kicking and screaming if necessary. And here's the kicker, she's doing it with grace, grit, and a sniper's precision from beyond the arc. It's not just impressive, it's historic. And yet, in the middle of all this momentum, there's tension, friction, a storm brewing within the locker rooms. Because while Clark has been busy building an empire, some veterans have been busy subtweeting her rise. There's a pocket of the league that seems more interested in throwing shade than acknowledging the sunlight she's bringing. And it begs a larger question. How do you demand respect for women's sports and then act like it's junior high when someone finally moves the needle? How do you look the other way when a generational talent not only shows up but delivers results that everyone else only dreamed about? The jealousy is palpable. Some try to humble her with on-court aggression. Others roll their eyes from the bench. A few can't even say her name in interviews without making it sound like a punchline. But the facts aren't on their side. Clark is a rookie who shattered 62 records before she even unpacked her bags. She's selling out arenas like it's the Eras Tour in high tops. She's averaging over 1 million viewers per game, 3 times the league average. She's not just raising the bar. She torched it and launched the pieces into orbit. And then, just when the narrative couldn't get more supercharged, a GOAT stepped into the conversation. Not just any GOAT. The GOAT, Michael Jordan. For months, the basketball world waited to hear his take. And when he finally spoke, he didn't mince words. Jordan offered not just approval, he gave Clark a metaphorical passing of the torch. He watched her revolutionize the game the way he once did, and publicly declared that the WNBA owes her recognition for everything she's doing for the sport. Let that settle. Michael Jordan, the man who built a billion-dollar empire, who redefined what it meant to be a global icon in sneakers, is now telling the world that Caitlin Clark is changing the game. Not just for women's basketball, for basketball, period. And here's the stat to seal it. Clark and Jordan are now the only rookies in league history to average 18-plus points, 8.5-plus assists, 5-plus rebounds, 1-plus block, and 2-plus steals per game in the playoffs. That's not a coincidence. That's legacy math. Clark isn't just walking in Jordan's shadow. She's standing beside it, step for stat, carving her own lane in real time. This isn't hype. It's history. And we're watching it unfold at breakneck speed. Jordan changed the economics of the NBA. Tiger Woods did the same for golf. Caitlin Clark is doing that right now for women's basketball. Brands aren't just circling her. They're redesigning entire marketing blueprints around her presence. She's not playing the long game. She's living it. The Caitlin Clark movement is more than viral clips and sold-out jerseys. It's economic. It's cultural. It's generational. And if the WNBA embraces this momentum instead of resisting it, the entire league stands to benefit. But if veterans remain bitter instead of inspired, if they focus more on questioning her arrival than amplifying what's now possible, they risk being relics in a league that's finally ready for prime time. Because here's the truth, Caitlin Clark is not a fluke. She is not a phase. She is not some overhyped rookie riding a wave. She is the wave, and she's only just begun. From record ratings to MJ-level impact, Caitlin Clark is leading a movement in women's basketball. And this is just the beginning. Like, comment, and subscribe for more on the rise of this game-changing icon.